this is already on. What were you using this for?
I was putting up those shelves. There it goes. Well, we're here. Sorry for being a little late. Most of the time on Thursdays now we're gonna do this at 9:30, and because I have to work, which is great. So, so what I'm looking at tonight is got my TA07 here, and I took it out for its first run on Wednesday, and it's pretty slow. I was a little surprised by how slow it actually was, so I got to change a couple things. I'm going to change out the speed controller because for some reason it just wasn't quite working right. Because for some reason there we go. Got my new got the OBS thing up. It I don't know, looks pretty good. So hopefully it doesn't tell me that it's running slow or anything like that. It says it's not, so must be okay. So yeah. So it was it handled a little weird and over rotated really bad, and the speed controller has like this really weird delay in it, which I actually plugged it in backwards this summer, and it's got that reverse polarity protection on it, but I still think something damaged it, so I'm going to change it out with a different one. It's kind of annoying. Got that pretty awesome Redline Gen's Ace battery. This is actually Tim's, because technically this is Tim's car, so I can't mess it up too badly. Otherwise, he might be mad at me. Emerson's back in here making noise.
Putting up your lights.
Putting up my lights on my thing. Jason Haley's on here watching Desert Classic. I watched a little bit just from work when it was slow. When it said that it was going. That was pretty cool.
Is that loud?
It's a little loud.
Sorry. You got a screwdriver?
But I'm definitely going to keep track of it this weekend. I know Tom Rinderneck's down there. Aiden Olson's down there. So we'll see how the boys do. Hopefully they kick some butt. Yeah, so like I said, I installed this Hobbywing G2 Elite, and this summer I did plug it in backwards, so it's kind of my fault, totally my fault, and it just it drove funny. It like had this delay, and it was definitely a struggle. So. And you got to remember that down there at the Desert Classic, Aiden Horn and Tom Rinderneck both kind of shocked the world, really, at the Nats. I think it was 2017 when they both made the A main. I think that was the first, major race that they both Well, not Aiden. I mean, yeah, maybe Aiden too, but both of them really crushed it down there. So I know they both really like that track. They like going there. So I can see that. John Haas is on here. RC Glock from Ohio. That's pretty awesome. So, I don't know if this speed controller is just bad now. I'll probably just try to send it in to Hobbywing. It is my fault, so just got to deal with it and move on. Luckily, I have a extra one lying around. Jason's here to lobby for gas truck. Well, I got to tell you, I would love to have gas truck. The last couple times that we've tried to get gas truck going, everybody that said that they were going to run gas truck never actually came and raced gas truck. So, not saying it's not a possibility, but yeah, I think it'd be really cool. I'm actually, I'm really thinking about doing some Sunday off-road racing soon. Either this summer, or maybe even next winter, like once a month, and I think that could definitely fit into that race program. So. Jackson Anderson's on here again. He says, hello from 3 minutes away. Don't get any accidents. Jackson drove into a truck the other day. A parked truck.
Yes, he did.
And I let Emerson drive the other night after the podcast. After Monday's podcast,
Sound good?
I let him drive my truck for a little bit. So.
It's too bright for the thing.
No, I like it.
Look on the stream though.
No, it looks good. Will Britton's on here finally. The man, the myth, the legend. You totaled the other guy's truck? Dude, that sucks. That's gonna kill your insurance, man. Yeah, so your independent buggy winner crashed a parked truck and totaled it apparently. So, good job. Some guy in 21.5 at the Desert Classic is named Carne Asada. I can see that. That's pretty funny.
Watching it on your phone.
Well, so what I was thinking was next year because I'm not sure what's going to happen in February, that we could keep running dirt off-road maybe like once a month on Sundays, kind of like they do with the winter series, like Dirt Oval and like our Techno Winter series. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of what I'm thinking. You know, I might tweak it or something, but that's kind of where I've been at. Just where my head has been, basically. I don't know, it kind of just feels like there's definitely been a swing kind of back to wanting to race dirt. And I also think that carpet needs a place too, carpet off-road. So we'll just try to make it happen for both if we can help it. That's kind of what I've been thinking. You know what's really weird is there's, on this TA07, maybe I'm missing something here, but there's this piece sticking up here, and I can't for the life of me figure out what it's for, except to get in the way of all your electronics, so that you can properly get it all nice and tucked in and spaced and everything. Because this is your top plate, and it goes there. So there's really no reason for this thing to be there at all, whatsoever. That's weird. MSM pinned your channel on Facebook. I've been trying to get him to come here. What's MSM? I don't know what that is. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking, was maybe that was for like an antenna tube. That would actually make sense. And since it's not necessary for my receiver, I'm going to take it out because it's really annoying to be there. Yeah, okay, Mark Santamaria. Yeah, I've watched his channel. That'd be cool. Plus, I think he's a fellow techno racer, if I'm not mistaken. Like to go south to Thornhill at some point and race. I know as soon as I get that guy built, Emerson and I will be floating to some nitro races this summer. Already got them scheduled out. I think we're going to go to Minnesota, May 8th. Minnesota. May 8th. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And we've scheduled in the Cheyenne Shootout. And we've scheduled in the Region 8 Regionals at Kansas City. So I think we're going to be all right. Will Brent, did my parts come in? Was I supposed to order you parts, or are you joking? Oh, okay. When does practice start and when do the doors open? I don't know. There's actually a flyer for that sort of thing. That's yeah, Yes, there's Family Friday off-road tomorrow. Finally, we've had like 3 weeks off, so I am looking forward to it. Although I'm not actually running races tomorrow. Trevor is, but that just means I get to go down there and pick on Emerson. Emerson wants to race tomorrow, so he's going to be there. Rod case, I do not have an EB410 at this moment, but I did have one, was it about a year and a half ago, but I had the 0.1, not the 0.2, and I actually really liked it. Just never really had a whole lot of time on it. I got it used, I got it kind of cheap, and I kind of just... I think I traded it to somebody for something. I can't remember exactly what. But I actually am thinking about getting a 0.2 for the summer series, maybe. I don't know. Or mod. Might just race four-wheel mod at the summer series so I can get like 4th or 5th the entire year.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
Do you know if Clay Stadium truck tires will work good on a 2-wheel drive Rustler? Yeah. In fact, I think Cole there is actually running them, and like you said, you do got to at least get the right wheels for it. So you got to get like the 2.2 RPM revolver wheels, because I think if you use any other wheel, it rubs. But if you get the right wheel made for a Traxxas, a 2.2 wheel, then you don't have to do anything. So. My son's going to bed like he's supposed to because it's 10 o'clock. But yeah, that's one of the cool things about like Plex Spec at our track is you get these guys out there with rustlers and stuff, and you put the right tires on them, and they're pretty fast, man. They do a really good job. Yeah, John Haas has a 0.2, and he's been driving it really well. Like you said, I'm gonna get our buggy and our truggy going first for nitro racing this summer, and then I'm gonna think about what, if I'm gonna get the 4-wheeler or not. If they have the Reedy race next year, I really want to go. If I get selected, so in the lottery, and if I do, then I definitely have to get a 4-wheeler. Dang it. Dude, I love our super rustlers, man. That's what I call them, super rustlers. Like super bandits. When you get a Traxxas Bandit on Plex Spec night, and it's got like actually good clay compound tires on it, it's fun to watch them, how good they can go. Why is this not going in there? Will's going to Florida. Oh, when are we doing that? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. So on the one of the last podcasts, Will and I were talking about instead of doing the Reedy race, like going to a race in Florida in the wintertime. Yeah, I forgot about that. That sounds more fun. The Reedy race is fun, but if we pick like Coral Springs or Lake Park, something like that, I'd totally be down. Clayton Whitmire, are you sticking with TLR two-wheel drive then? No. Not yet. If TLR comes out with a new car and you can easily access the diff and all that good stuff, then I'm down. But until then, I'm gonna stick with the AE two-wheel drive for now. Because Emerson and I are both pretty hard on stuff, and I like to, when I get it, when I'm in the zone, I like to work on my stuff, and sometimes having to take so much effort to get to something as simple as replacing a differential is annoying. So that's been my one gripe. Like, that's it. That's my one gripe about the whole thing. I don't know why I make a big deal out of it, but it is. Wow, a lot going on in the chat tonight. Watched Wally build on another podcast. He said the AE's redoing the servo mounting. That's why everything is on hold. Yeah, they have. I noticed like their chassis and stuff were discontinued. So I don't know. Sometimes that can lead to a new car or like an update. Yeah, doors open at 4 p.m. tomorrow at the Hobbyplex for Friday night racing. Shane Albarico says they're going to Florida for a vacation next week, and he gets to go to Beachline and race. That'll be fun. I think your dad used to live in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Bender was on here asking about, do I know what's wrong with his charger? And he hasn't brought it into the Hobbyplex like I asked him to do so I could see it. So that's what you need to do, because I can't really diagnose something without actually being able to look at it. So I think you need to bring it in so I can check it out. Will a 4-shoe clutch change engine tune much from a 3-shoe? Yeah, I think it does. I think you'll notice. I think you notice that you can kind of. I think you can tune the engine to rip a little bit harder, actually, and still get solid clutch engagement and better runtime than a 3-shoe. Especially if you're using 2 plastic and 2 metal shoes. Daniel, a lot of brands sell 13 gauge, just don't know what brand is better or best. Daniel, I think you're thinking way too hard about wire. I think you just get 13 gauge wire that's reasonably priced and you'll be fine. Rod, when I had my 410, I kind of just do like I did with everything else. I pretty much run it base setup on the manual. The only thing that I did with mine was I'm actually thinking about doing it with the Truggy. But this was on the 1.0. I can't even remember if the 2.0 has these, but you know these little droop tabs on the chassis? On my four-wheeler when I had it, I cut those babies off altogether, and really didn't worry about setting droop from the droop screws. I just looked at the shock shaft stroke, because these kept on catching on the dirt, and you could kind of feel it. And in a way, on the Truggy, I kind of feel it too. And so I've been thinking about at least taking them off the front and leaving them on the back. I don't know, but that's kind of where I was at with that. That's really the only thing I changed at all from stock on that car. The great thing about the Techno four-wheeler, and I mean honestly, the Losi four-wheeler is the same way now too. Actually, all three of them are the same way, the Associated now too, but they're all like really tough. But I'd say durability-wise, man, the Techno Bucky is really, really tough. Oh, he says no for the two-wheel drive EE car. So, my setup stuff was normally almost box stock. The only thing that I ever changed was in the summertime, I went up on the oil, shock oil, so like 35, 32. And in the wintertime, I was back down to like 32, 32 or 32, 30. Stock pistons, stock springs. And then on the pills, I generally run them one up, so the number one with the dot all the way up. I always seem to land on that pill setup. Other than that, everything on my car was kind of always stock. I didn't really change much. I just went out and tried to drive it. And I'll do that again when I get my car. So I just sold my car to Clancy. I can't remember his first name now, which I'm supposed to look for a body. And I'll get a new one here before dirt season. Well, it is dirt season, before the spring race. So I can race 40 plus again. So William Harris is on here. Says hello. He says the EB, the 2.0, their 0.2 is the same, catches even more dirt. Yeah, I think on the, especially on the four-wheeler, I think you can get away with just chopping those things off. Cold mini Truggies are four-wheel drive, dude. They are super fun. Super fun in four-wheel drive. Daniel says, what does the Hobbyplex logo say on my screen? Can't read cursive. It says AfterHours. I'm so excited to put that up. I had my sister help me with that specific logo. And the only thing I wish we had was like an afterglow, like a glow behind it. But that's for later. I'm just happy that we have it working on here. What else is on here? And then up here, Daniel says, will you be able to look at my charger this Saturday? Absolutely, dude. I'm usually just hanging out until about 12:30, and then I gotta get us going. So Clayton wants to know what engine I'm putting in the NB. Hopefully a block, dude. Hopefully they're not in stock. So if they don't get in stock by April, then I will probably have to break down and get it just a OS. but hopefully the Techno blocks are back in stock by then. So. Yeah, I know they don't teach cursive in school anymore, but good lord, it's not that hard to. It's not that hard to read. It's just with no glow behind the logo, it's kind of difficult to see, and I totally can understand that. Okay, now I need. So one thing that I always run out of whenever we're doing these things is tape, because I'm stupid and I always forget. I think I'm just gonna set that off to the side. Speaking of pills, so a couple things is I think I have the. At first I had the belt set way too tight, and then I went to change the belt, and the belt was way too loose. So there's like a medium I gotta find. Yeah, exactly. Clayton says block OS, same thing. And I mean, you know, if Techno makes an engine and it's an OS based engine, then that's what I want to run. You know, if it was like, you know, a brand that I'm not too keen on, then I probably would just get an OS right now. But I'm gonna hold out and. I'm going to hold out and see if they get them in stock. So, and now's the hunt for our screwdriver, which always seems to disappear. Son had it. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. So I'm hoping to have this thing dialed in by the Tamaya Championship Series race that we're going to have March 27th. And just based on how everything ran on Wednesday, I got a lot of work to do. And I actually have a build video that I've done on this, and I'm almost done with it. I got some good footage from Wednesday, and there really wasn't a lot to like talk about on this one, other than a few little things. But I just like got to do the wrap up, and then I'll have ourselves a nice little like 20-minute build video. It should be good. Any 13.5 combos in stock? No. We generally don't order a lot of the combos. It kind of seems like the way that sales go, like everybody has a specific motor they want, and then you just get a speed controller to go with it. So like a 13.5, you could get a Hobby Wing just stock, right? $54, and then you could just buy whichever brand a $100 motor you want. So, Wilt, yes, I am. This is my Tamiya Championship Series race car. So, and I guess like even if I don't do very well at the regional, well then I have like um, an entire summer, right, to get the car figured out for the Nats. Just afraid that the belt's just so tight. Like it's got such like a weird window. I don't know. Yeah, so John still asking about talking about combos. I mean that's generally right. I kind of sway people is to just get, if you don't intend on racing mod, right? You just get one of the cheaper speed controllers like a just stock, and then just get your motor. I feel like this car is so easily tweaked too. Like even with the stiffeners on there, I just feel like it bends a lot. It's definitely a lot different from the X-Ray that I own. But whatever. We'll try to make it work. The one thing about Tamiya touring cars that I've noticed is there's not a whole lot of setup support out there. You know how like when you buy a Low Seer Associated car, you can go to Team Low Seer Associated's website. You can click on the car. You can click on like downloads or setups or whatever, and they'll take you to a page that has all these setups. And that really doesn't, unless you want to dig through pages and pages and pages of RC Tech, um, pages and put up with all the ad bull crap that's on that site. There's not a whole lot of stuff out there. So it's kind of like starting from scratch, and on-road is not necessarily my forte. So it's just one of those things I'm gonna have to work through. Jackson says, dude, wood has gotten expensive. It's crazy how expensive wood has gotten. It is insanity. That back wall at the Plex, I actually felt really bad that I had to buy some new wood for that back there because wood had gotten so bad. But if you think about it, like we're at, during the pandemic and the shutdown, people are just at home, right? A lot of people are at home, so they're all trying to do some projects and stuff. And then you've got the fires that raged last year, and then you've got the all the craziness from this summer, right? With everybody like boarding up stuff and all that. So there's a lot going on that affects that price of wood, for sure. Hopefully it'll come back down, because the good news is I've been getting all my crawler wood from the 70% off pile at Home Depot. So yeah, even Menards, which is usually cheap, was really expensive. I'm going to plug my computer in. I got to make sure I don't show any butt crack on camera either. I'm wearing sweatpants, so there's possibility of a little butt crack. Ah, crap. So here's my body, and this is why I don't paint, but everybody seems to like it. Yeah, it's didn't turn out exactly how I thought it was going to turn out, but still not bad. The idea was to paint it white and then back it with candy red to let just like a little tinge of red come through. And apparently I didn't put on enough coats of white, so it ended up just being whatever this is. So, see? But whatever. It's weird because I hate it, and everybody that's seen it's been like, hey man, that's really cool. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's totally how I expected it to happen. That's exactly how I wanted it. But the cool thing about RC is that we got stickers. So if you ruin a body, you can always put stickers on it. So I'm thinking about pills on this car. The one thing that I did change in my X-Ray when I got it was the rear pills, just like I do in my on-road car. And I feel like it did not have enough rear toe for our track. I have a feeling it probably has maybe 2 degrees built into it, which normally I think you would want, but since this car flexes so much, I feel like more toe in would be beneficial. The chassis plate is so thin, like it's just there's not really much to it, and there's no real, I mean, it's got the top stiffeners, these graphite stiffeners here, but other than that, I can kind of see why some guys at our track have said that they kind of struggled with setup on this car, just because of how much this thing actually flexes. And I could feel it on the track, like it didn't have a lot of corner speed because the car would just twist instead of float through the corner. So I'm thinking about increasing the shock weight oil, increasing the spring. I think they're fairly medium springs. I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to break down and buy one of those ungodly expensive Tamiya spring sets and put stiffer springs on there to kind of counteract the flex in the car. That's what I'm thinking. Might be wrong, but that's what I'm going to go with. That's what I'm going to try at least. So, we'll see. Right? Yeah, I know. I need to get my Hobbyplex show stickers in my car, actually. Oh, hang on a second. Maybe I can do that. Haha! I got my own sticker sheet. I bought them, so... There we go. Mason Fox is on here, our Latrax Teton kid from like the very first After Hours show. Do you have channel stickers? If so, how much for them and how much is shipping? Yeah, dude. You can... you got to PayPal me. They'll be with it'll be a stamp. So there you go. That's my PayPal address. Sticker sheets are $3, and I think postage now is like, dude, when's the last time anybody on here has mailed anything with an actual stamp? Because I don't remember how much stamps cost now. Anyways, we'll just call it $3.50, and I can mail it to you. Check it out. Hobbyplex show. That's a bad angle. There you go. See that right there. Daniel, stickers are $3. So if you see me at the track, they're $3. I only have like 8 sticker sheets left out of 50, so I gotta actually gotta order some more. I'm pretty proud of you guys. Mason, Dean's plugs are like $5 for a pack of Dean's plugs, so you'd have to make it $8.50. Yeah, so it looks like stock is 2 degrees of or 2 degrees of tow, which is kind of what I thought it felt like, according to this sheet here. KW, what's your thoughts on the DE setup wheel system for 1/10 scale off-road? I actually know a couple guys that use them, and seems like a good deal. Easier to set stuff up with their slim giant wheels. I think we actually have those in stock too at our store. So I don't know. It's a weird, like the demand for those has kind of come and gone, and then come again and gone again. I've seen some dirt oval guys use them. So yeah, I think they're fine. I like DE racing stuff. Their wheels are really good. I like how they make them in all different colors. Yeah. Daniel says, if I buy on the Hobbytown website, does it support the track? The actual honest answer to that is no. It does not. That is actually corporate. That's corporate's deal. So in a roundabout way, it kind of does, but it's not very much. Put it that way. So you're better off just buying it from the store altogether. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the height as well as the toe, and also I think I might move my arms back as well. Let's see. How many mAh batteries should I run? Just asking people for different opinions. In your four-wheel drive, you should probably run like a slim 4600 or something. In your two-wheel drive, probably 5000 to 4500. You don't really need one of the giant ones to go with it. So. Darwheel78, do I deliver to the UK? Let's see. If you're asking for stickers, yes. It's $1.80 for a global United States Post Office stamp. I just learned that. So if you want a set of stickers, it's $4.80 for one set. If you want more than one, they're $3 a sheet. Other than that, not really. We haven't done, like, the store doesn't really do a whole lot of shipping in general. I mean, I suppose we could, but it'd have to be one of those things where we get you a price, depending on what it is. Batteries I run with this car is something like that, like a slim 6000. It seems like for a touring car, you kind of want the voltage to last, to be as highest for as long of a time as possible, and so that's why they use big mAh, like 8100s even, I've seen. But then you got to figure weight. You don't want your car to weigh too much, because then it'll be slower. So you're trying to find that balance. But it seems like anywhere from 6000 to 7500s even are pretty common. I mean, a 6100, Daniel in the comments here, I'm not saying that's too big. I'm just saying that, again, it's about weight too. Like a 6100 is a very large battery. It weighs more, right? And so most associated cars kind of work pretty well in the 1550 range, somewhere in there for weight. I think I've seen Will have his down all the way to 1530, maybe even lower. Um, so if you get it up, if you have a heavier car, it's a little bit easier to drive, but it's not as fast, right? Um, so you're trying to find that balance. So that's why like a 4900 is a pretty across the board seems like a pretty good number, somewhere in that range. Uh, Cole, I used Sprint White, and then I backed it with Candy Red, and I didn't mean for it to look like that. Um, but I have been watching The Walking Dead lately, so maybe there's a reason for that. I don't know. I was just about to text you. Racing starts at 7.
Okay.
Okay. My son's so impatient. Yeah, big dude. The I'm testing some stuff, so I'm trying to get the logos down. I'm gonna be working on some new sponsorships for this year, so we'll see if we can add more to the bottom there. Peter Renault finished Mandalorian 2. Yeah, excellent. I'm excited for tonight, man. It's let's see. So, what is that? 4 hours till WandaVision, the WandaVision finale. I'm stoked. Jeez, it's probably just easier to pop those babies out of there. Cocktail. Wait a minute. The movie Cocktail with Tom Cruise? Dude, I had the Cocktail soundtrack, man, on vinyl. I can't remember why. There was one song from that movie that was it was it Red Wine that was on that soundtrack? I can't remember exactly why I had that. I know I had it for a reason. I don't know, I can't remember. Red wine, you make me feel so fine. Yeah, the Losi card does look really good. It's weird because I've seen some of those on Facebook already, kind of floating around, and I was kind of surprised that we didn't get like a one of those like early look ones from Horizon. A lot of times when they do that, they'll have this for select stores. They'll send one like an early product out, not to sell, but to like have on display and let people touch it. And I kind of had my hopes up we were going to get one of those this week, but it didn't happen. So we'll see what happens. Um, I'm I'm staring over here at my DR10, and I'm thinking I might actually take it out tomorrow. I don't have to work till 2. So there's been like a pop up no prep running across the street from us at the that new parking lot with that new building. And last year they were doing it on Sundays, and they're actually going to have a crawler event this Sunday, which I'm kind of excited about. I'm going to get my both my trucks out and hopefully participate, unless we're crazy nuts busy on Sunday. But I might bring that out and give it a shot and see how fast it is with a 3 cell in it. And I know I just based on customer response too. I know I got to gear it up still. I got to put a different pinion gear on it. So, but that'll be one of my next projects for this summer, is to get my drag car going even faster. Kokomo, that's what it is. It's Beach Boys Kokomo. Holy crap! Like, the memories are flooding back. I got that. I got that album specifically for Beach Boys Kokomo. Uh, let's see. I'll bring it with me tomorrow. I got it. So, yep, I got a brand new B62 body. I'll remember to bring it. I knew I had one. $300 for 1 hour. That'd be awesome. I think the battery debate is basically like, you just got to choose a brand and then just go with it. That's kind of how I feel about that. I never had. I never. I don't think I ever seen Pretty in Pink. I know that's weird to say, but I think I missed out on that movie. A lot of the Brat Pack movies, other than Breakfast Club, I don't think I ever really watched any of them. I actually have my original Michael Jackson Thriller album that I got for Christmas, I think. In what was that, 1984? And you know, is another good album is that I had on vinyl was the Dirty Dancing soundtrack. I had they actually made 2 of them, and I got them both. Again, kind of a pop music fan in a way, so that's kind of how that ended up happening. But I had both. I don't know where those albums went too. That's the shitty thing. Like, I should have those still. And I wonder if they're at my dad's house, or because I know my mom. Maybe they're at my mom's house. They might be in a box somewhere in the basement over at my stepdad's. Yeah, the Rad soundtrack's okay. Really, just Send Me an Angel is really like the one song from that. There's I saw something on there's a, oh my god, what's that guy's YouTube channel? Um, there's a guy that does like retrospectives on movies and stuff, and there's a song I guess that like isn't available on soundtrack and isn't available anywhere, and you have to like go to YouTube and people just record off the TV. That's how you can get the song. Yeah, Dazed and Confused, another good one. Gente's battery's been pretty good, so um, really, I'd say Gen's Ace was kind of the first brand that we carried at the Hobbyplex that was not like a, at the time. I think they're mainstream now, but at the time they weren't like a real mainstream. I think kind of people thought that Gen's Ace was kind of like, you know, the cheap China stuff that you buy on Amazon, and we started carrying them when A Main and Hobbytown, you know, got together, and then ever since then, I mean, they've been really good. So, dude, the Wizard movie, uh, was the whole reason why I had a power glove. Remember that? They hyped up that thing so bad, like the kid could play Rad Racer with his fingers, and it like intimidated the young kid or whatever. And I got one of those for Christmas, and I hated it. It was the worst control ever. And I actually took it, and I actually took the Power Glove. This could sound terrible. Could you imagine if I still had it? Um, but I took the Power Glove and I cut the wires off of it so that I could just wear it to school as like part of like a costume or whatever. And then, but before that, I got so sick of trying to like control everything with my fingers that I ended up just like flipping it and using it as a regular controller for some reason. It was really stupid. But eventually, I just took it and I actually like just cut the wires off. Um, but yeah, could you imagine if I still had that now? Because I have a top-loading Nintendo, which is really hard to find and extremely rare. And I'm really, I mean, I pretty psyched about having like owning that thing. And man, if I had a Power Glove, I'd be so happy right now. All right, so we're gonna change the actual axle height in the back, and we're gonna also, yeah, dude, the jumbo, the big thing. That's those are pretty rare actually. I used to work at a video game store from 1997 to 2001, and even back then we had loads of Nintendos, like regular front-loading Nintendos. They weren't that rare, but all the components for them were, and so anytime that we got in like the turbo joystick or uh, the actual like turbo controller. I still have one of those, which is kind of cool with that little slider finger, not the actual, not like the directional thing, but the one that like slid. Those are actually pretty hard to find. Um, at least ones that work. Um, AV cords for a regular Nintendo, really hard to find. Brian P. Two-wheel drive buggy or 22X4 for a first-time racer? Man, that's a tough question because I think you can't go wrong with either. To be honest with you, um, both both platforms now are so tough compared to what they used to be. 10 years ago I would have said easily a two-wheel drive buggy because they're way tougher than a four-wheel drive car. But nowadays, the four-wheel drive cars are just as tough. So um, the cool thing is the 22X4 out of the box, no changes to the setup at all. That thing is on rails. So um, if you want a cool car and you don't mind spending the cash for it, that'd be a really good way to go. Get a 13.5 motor, so that you can kind of conform to the stock class, and I think it'd be really good to go. But if you get a two-wheel drive car, nothing wrong with that either. Um, Four-wheel drive is going to be a little bit easier to drive than a two-wheel drive, so again, that would kind of lead you towards a four-wheel drive. Um, that being said, once you figure out how to drive a two-wheel drive car, then you can pretty much drive anything. So there's that side of it too. Yeah, Chili's on here. Chili Duncan, RC Car Action, J Concepts. He said two-wheel drive makes you a better driver to begin with. That's kind of where I was leaning towards with earlier, was that four-wheel drive's a little bit easier to drive, two-wheel drive's harder to drive, but you figure out how to drive a two-wheel drive car, and then you're on your way. You can drive anything you want. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I feel like I need to find a pill chart for this thing, because I think this is the way I want to go, but the manual's pill chart is kind of complicated, and clearly I'm not an engineer, so so the stock setup that I had on this basically had no anti-squat at all, which means that the rear end couldn't support itself very much. So I think I should put some anti-squat into it too. Yeah, Shane Alberico just said that he got a new AC for his crawler, his mini crawler, his 24 scale crawler, and that's just because like everything's been out of stock, and we finally got motors in stock for the SCX 24s, the both of them, the stock ones, and then what's the name of the other, a little bit longer motor, but it still works, and they say it lasts longer. I can't remember the name of it now. Anyways, uh, we got them. Brian, so I've personally owned the Losi and Associated, and I kind of teeter totter back and forth, man. I go back and forth between them. Um, Losi comes out the new car, I buy it, race it for a while. Associated comes out the new car, then I buy it, race it for a while. So, um, right now, I don't think you can go wrong with either. I do have a feeling that they might be coming out with a new car. Um, Associated. Losi just came out with that pre-built roller, which is pretty tempting. So, I don't know. Darwill says, look at the IR rate on your battery. Yeah, uh, chargers now have internal resistance meters, like your Protect charger should have it. That's a good way to tell if your batteries are good. If your internal resistance is super high, your batteries suck. Now, John Haas, how do I not get attached? Well, I was attached for a long time as a TLR driver, so um, my first race car was a JRX Pro in like 1992, 1991. When was the Desert Storm? 91. So, uh, yeah, JRX Pro 91 ran nothing but low-C until 2000, 2001 or 2002 maybe, and then thought about quitting RC altogether and got talked into switching brands for the first time, and so I got Associated Cars, and then got second at Stock Nats in 2004 in two-wheel drive stock, expert stock, and got sponsored by Associated, and then in 2006 started driving for TLR, and from 2006 to 2017 I was a TLR driver. So I've been loyal for a very long time to one specific brand, and it was a lot of fun. But I wanted to experience a lot more to our hobby, so not necessarily being stuck to one brand all the time. Yeah. That being said, techno stuff is pretty sweet. So that's why I went with techno. But the cool thing about the techno sponsorship is I can run whatever two-wheel drive car I want. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, I just got done. I just traded a Slash for two classic cars, and for a moment I had um, regrets, but I can always get another Slash. That's the fun part about that. Big dude, we've got it in stock at the Plex, man. That VW Bug with the hippie paint job. I know, I know you're in Texas. That's why I was screwing with you. Shane Alberico sounds like he's going to get a sprint car. They do a lot of sprint car in Kansas. They got Checkered Flag Raceway, where they hold the Kansas. What's the name of that? Kansas. Is it just Kansas Dirt Oval Championships? KDRC or something like that. Man, these are in there tight. I don't want to scratch it up. RRLRC, loved your commentary at INS 11, heard it via mod stream. What's your favorite part of calling races? Advice for newbies trying it out at their local club race. That's a good question, man. Appreciate it. Um, uh, I guess like for calling races, I always try to be informative, but at the same time, I don't try to just talk the whole time. Um, I try to give info when it's needed. like lap times and stuff, but not every lap because that gets old. Um, I try to be funny. A lot of it's self-deprecating, which is fine. Um, and um, I try not to worry too much about um, getting names wrong and stuff because eventually people will tell you. Um, and the main thing, like, my biggest gripe if I go to a track and I don't feel like the race director is paying attention, that gets kind of annoying. Um, you know, it's your job as race director to manage the races, to get everything done on time, but also to make sure all the marshalling spots are covered. Or if they're not, try to find, you know, somebody to cover it, or maybe move somebody around when you know that one spot gets more action than another. Um, you also can't, you got to walk the fine line. You can't be a jerk to everybody. If somebody's late, you know, you gotta let them know that you gotta go, but there's a way to do it. And I think when I first started announcing races, you know, it was very easy to get kind of walked all over. Um, so you kind of got to find that line between being a hard ass and, um, you know, kind of letting things kind of go with the flow, I guess. Um, but yeah, the main thing is um, try to keep things moving on time. Um, make sure the marshalling spots are covered. Let everybody know what race they're on. Even though we've all got phones now with Live RC, um, you know, if somebody's in the pits and they're working on stuff and they're in race number 9 and it's race number 8 and they haven't heard what race they're on, you know, it always helps to have that. And then just try to find your own style. You know, Scotty Ernst is really well known for um, just being super energetic and for making the L main just as exciting as the A main. I try to do the same thing. Um, you know, but a lot of times, you know, if the race is not as exciting because everybody's spread out by 10 seconds, I'm not going to just, you know, force it, right? So that's kind of where I'm at style wise. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's that's probably about it. The main thing is don't be a jerk. Unless you have to be a jerk, then you can be a jerk. Like if somebody's taking somebody out, right? And you can tell they're doing it on purpose, well then you have authority to be a jerk, right? Yes, traffic is a big deal. So, um, I've kind of how do I deal with traffic? It's it's kind of like what Chili said there. You kind of like um, even if I don't know somebody's paint scheme, or I mean, even if I don't know whose car somebody is, I can usually tell them, well, it's the yellow red car with the white wheels, yellow wing. You know, he's coming up to you. Make sure you give him a little bit of room. Um, I don't necessarily tell people to move unless it's the main events, and that's kind of one thing. So I used to do some roar races, and I've announced a couple roar races and stuff. And part of the protocol that they got, you know, was that in qualifying you weren't supposed to call traffic, which always bugged the crap out of me. So I just did it anyways. And the way I would do it was, you know, your leader's blankety blank. He's driving that silver and blue car. Make sure you don't run into him if he catches up to you. You know, It's kind of a roundabout way of doing it. Some race directors are different. They'll go out and they'll just say, "Hey, blankety blank, blankety blank's coming behind you. Move over, stop, whatever." Um, I don't really do that until the main, but I do kind of insinuate it in the qualifiers, I guess. So, man, I cannot get this thing out of here without scratching the paint. That's really annoying. Once again, a after hours show where I don't really get a whole lot done, but that's okay. There we go. We just kind of hammer it. Jeez. Yeah, no problem, dude. Thank you. Thanks for watching the J Concepts race too. That was actually kind of a cool surprise to see Matt there with the live stream all weekend long. I was really happy to see that because I feel like a race like that kind of deserved that kind of coverage, you know. Especially with all the work that it took to make that race happen. So okay, so we're gonna do this and this. So what eventually is going to happen is I put more toe in the car and I put a little bit of anti-squat in the car. So box stock it had what looked like 2 degrees of toe and no anti-squat, which means that when it was coming to the corners, because you didn't have that angle, it like was just letting the car just over rotate like crazy, and it was really hard to drive. So hopefully I'll try it tomorrow and see if it changes. So big dude, I like the red one, man. I like the Summit car. I thought that was pretty cool. Butch is on here. Emerson's not quite old enough to drive. He's 14, so um, he's but he's itching to drive. So he's not gonna have a car unless his grades are good. Um, but both mom and I have been letting him take the wheel on deserted roads every once in a while. So Shane says he thinks I'm funny, especially when I'm announcing. Well, that's good. Appreciate that. Emerson is going to be. Emerson wants to run Truggy this summer. So but I'm getting them both. So we're getting uh, that'll be my next project here. Um, the NB 48 2.0 Techno, and then we're waiting for the new Truggy to come out with that interesting body, and we're gonna have both of those. So we're planning on hitting Minnesota Full Throttle Raceway um, up there where the Van Dalens are. We're gonna go May 8th. We're gonna go to regionals in Kansas City, and we're gonna go to the Cheyenne Shootout in Wyoming. So we're gonna travel a little bit this year. We haven't um, we haven't traveled a lot the last couple years, so I think that's gonna be really fun. So we'll see. Um, Shane Albarico said that the big race at Checkered Flag is the Kansas Dirt Oval Championships. There you go. And now both Albaricos are going to have their own sprint car, so that'll be cool. Peter, no. let's see, where am I going? We're going to Minnesota. Checkered flag, or not checkered flag. Good lord, Full Throttle Raceway. It's right outside of Minneapolis. So hopefully there's a Minneapolis left for me to drive by here in a little bit. But I don't know if you guys can see that. It's that right there. See if that comes up. So I can't go to the June one, but May 8th, we're planning on going up there. Yeah, it's still pretty far, isn't it, from Ontario? Yeah, so Darwell, I'm planning on doing a build video for that. I'm almost done with the build video for this, so I'm going to do a build video on that. And then for all three of those races, I think what we're going to do is do like like what we did at the Masters of Dirt. We'll kind of take a day 1, day 2, day 3 type thing, and put that on YouTube for everybody. So why not? That's why we got the channel, right? So we'll definitely do some road trip videos. It's going to be fun. And I mean, I used to be a pretty hardcore nitro guy. Let's see. So the Losi 8 original one came out in 2006, and I was really happy to have one of those because I was sponsored by Sportworks before that. So I would go to these big races like the RC Pro Series and stuff here in the United States, qualify super high with the Sportworks, and then break out of the race like 10 minutes in. I think I was like 1 for 10 for finishing 8 scale races at one time. And then the Losi car came out, and I did better. I still didn't finish a couple of them. There was one at the Hobbyplex that I TQ'd twice. I've actually 2 years in a row. I TQ'd and I was driving away from everybody, and I broke out like 17 laps in, and it was something stupid too, like a roll pin or something. And then the next year, or the first year that it was indoor, I TQ'd that one, and I broke out of that one. Drive shaft snapped on me for no reason. So, but I went to the Dirt Nitro Challenge in 2011, and didn't do terrible. I made the A main and E buggy. That was pretty cool. So I'm just I'm excited to get back to nitro racing, except this time I'm going to be more of a pit dad. I'm going to be racing electric 8 scale, and if they have a 40 plus class, I'll race 40 plus nitro, and then the kid's going to race whatever expert buggy and truggy classes they have, and I'll be the pit dad in the pits. So I'm actually kind of excited for that. And it's, the way I look at it is I only got like 5 or 6 years maybe left with my son before he turns into an adult and won't hopefully want to live at home anymore. So I'm going to try to get all of it out of it that I can. So should be really good. So it's going to be fun. Where can I recycle RC batteries in Omaha? Lord Fluff Fluff? Dude, I don't know. I would tell you us, but we actually don't recycle them. They just sit in a box for a couple months, and then we just magically get rid of the box. So, I used to say like batteries plus and stuff, I think still take batteries, maybe. Yeah, well, big dude, I think I appreciate you saying you and Ryan Harris and Mark Santa Maria, because those two dudes are one of the ones that made me go, hey, I should be doing a live stream, shouldn't I? So, yeah, we'll hopefully get better too. Yeah, the last road trip was pretty fun. That being stuck in traffic for 4 hours really sucked, Peter. That was pretty lame because we were going to be in Myrtle Beach early, and Instead, we got there really late. So hopefully we won't be doing that again. Pit dad vids. I could do that. That'd be pretty funny. Yeah, Tom, I agree. Um, I think RC car racing. I think that's why Family Friday at our place, at the Hobbyplex, does so well because we've kind of morphed it. It used to be Flame Out Friday, right? That was when our nitro racing happened. Well, nobody wanted to bring their kids when there was a bunch of fumes everywhere. And once we kind of nixed that, when the turnout started getting low, and we tried to orient it towards just like a night to bring all your kids, and the moms and dads could come too. Um, I think that's one reason why it gets such the big turnout that it gets, because RC car racing can be one of those things that we have where you know everybody can do it in your family. It's not just a dad thing to get away, or a thing to drop your kids off, or kid off. I mean, that's kind of how I started. My mom would just drop me off at the track in Topeka Saturday morning and wouldn't pick me up till like 9 o'clock at night. And my parents would usually get there just to watch, just in time to watch the main, which was super exciting for me back then. So I think all kids kind of get that feeling, I hope. So anyways, it's when we're here for an hour and 36 minutes, and the stream didn't crash, so that's good. So I think I'm gonna bail. It's 11 o'clock, and I'm gonna set this aside for tomorrow. I might actually try to go ride my mountain bike tomorrow if it's nice enough. So I don't want to stay up too late tonight and be super tired tomorrow. So I'm going to set this here and come back to it later. So appreciate you guys sticking in there, staying with it. I think we were up to like 31 viewers or so at one time, it looks like, which is pretty awesome. And I'm going to go to sleep, wake up tomorrow, watch WandaVision, and then figure out what to do tomorrow. And then I got to be to work at 2, so we'll see what kind of afternoon I get. And Travis, I got your body. I will take it. So we'll see you guys later. I'm gonna head out. Have a good night, everybody.